Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to some more of our random perk part of playing Dead by Daylight. Now, only 4 days left in the Twisted Masquerade event, which is pretty cool, I have managed to get every survivor prestiged at least once, and then I was able to get Nancy and Steve up to level 6, that way they'd have alternate outfits due to their prestige cosmetics. Now, because some characters do not have cosmetics outside of their prestige cosmetics, notably Nancy and Steve, that's why I've been leveling them up the most. So, the next two characters I'm going to do this for is going to be Quentin and Freddy, who unlike Demogorgon, Nancy, and Steve, have just never had any additional cosmetics. They only have the basic cosmetics they came with and their prestige cosmetics, and that's it. According to everything I've heard from the devs at Behavior, apparently the hardest license that they've ever had to work with has been Nightmare on Elm Street, which is why it took forever for Quentin to get his face reworked. It's why Quentin's face rework, even afterwards, did not take the likeness of the actor who portrayed them. So, yeah. Even though Stranger Things has literally been removed by Netflix, apparently Nightmare on Elm Street was even harder for them to work with, which... yikes. But let's just roll for some perks and see what happens. I have a random perk roulette website open, and... oh! Huh. These perks actually aren't bad. So we're starting out with Scavenger, which means I'm going to bring a toolbox. Then we have Dead Hard, which is no longer the meta perk that it used to be, but it's not terrible. Streetwise and Iron Will. Alright, well, I guess Commodious toolbox with extra stuff, why not? When we're rocking with Scavenger, might as well go for Commodious toolbox. So yeah, I just really want to get extra cosmetics for Quentin and Freddy now that I've gotten Nancy and Steve and Demogorgon all to prestige level 6. It's time for these other characters to actually have cosmetics in the game. It's a damn shame. The entire Nightmare on Elm Street license has essentially been wasted. Can't blame Behavior with that, unfortunately. It's literally just... I don't know why. I know why. It's because you have to be overly litigious with all of your assets. That way, if there's anything genuinely harmful being created with your content, you can go after it. That's basically the only reason Nintendo actually goes after any, fan games and stuff. It's because if they're not overly litigious, they lose their rights to be litigious when something harmful actually comes their way. So, because of a few bad actors, everything gets ruined on a corporate level. It's just what happens, unfortunately. And I'm guessing they just... working with movie studios for rights, it's very difficult. Though, supposedly, Freddy is supposed to be getting a rework soon, so... hey, maybe we'll get some cosmetics. Maybe. I mean, it's not like he hasn't had multiple looks throughout multiple movies. And, you know, I do like this Quentin. I just also hope that the actor playing them gets their wish and they actually get a chance to be in the game. That would be pretty cool. Like, just give more base cosmetics for the character. Like, you can have your DVD interpretation, and then you can have the original movie interpretation. It's like how Cenobite, Pinhead, in the shop, they have the original Hell Priest design. The design the Dead by Daylight devs wanted to go for. And you have the original design, so they could very easily do that. It's just a shame, like, one of the most... Okay, I'm pretty sure we're up against a Legion. One of the most iconic horror movie characters is reduced to the worst character in the game and has nothing aesthetically cool about them to make them worth playing. Like, people mainly play Freddy just because they like the films. Like, genuinely. At least with Myers, like, there's interesting ways to play them. But yeah, the terrible, like, legal situations with working with, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's pretty much why we're never going to get, wait, I don't need this. It's why we're never going to see Jason Voorhees in this game, most likely. Because, Jason Voorhees, and the Friday the 13th, movies, the character in the movies are in a legal rights battle that is just, like, imagine development hell, but for, like, rights. That's basically what it is. Like, that's why the Friday the 13th game, stopped getting any content updates. It's why it essentially had to shut down and become completely vacant and have nothing to it. It's because, classic legal hell, multiple people all claim to own, Friday the 13th or Jason Voorhees as a character, and it wasn't going to get figured out for several years, and because no one knows who owns what, it's very difficult to get anything official done with that. One thing that comes from that, though, is that even though you can't have, like, official stuff, when something is in a legal rights hellscape like Friday the 13th is, what happens is that, they stop going after fan-made content, and, like, because no one knows who owns what, it becomes very difficult to go against people, who, like, are just making fan creations and stuff. So, yeah, you can't legally go after anyone if you can't put, you know, anything into it. Say put them all in a ring and whoever emerges victorious gets the rights. I am 90% sure one of the rights owners for Friday the 13th has actually said that. Not even a joke. Hold on, let me just walk over here, that way you can heal. That's good. yeah. So much of, like, we ain't ever getting Jason or, what's it called? Because it was going to be most likely Jason and what is the person's name? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember what the person is. They're in the game as well. Shit. Oh well. Make it pay-per-view too. Ray connects some extra cash. Yeah? Here's the issue, is the only reason they wouldn't do that is because they wouldn't know, they wouldn't be able to agree on rates, which is pretty much what all of the rights battles are over. It's so dumb. At this point, they should just do, like, in DBD, they should just essentially do what they did in the beginning, which is just make a bootleg of, like, a more direct bootleg of Jason Voorhees. Because, you know, I mean, they technically already have that, because the original killers in the game, Trapper, Hillbilly, and Wraith are all actually based upon pre-existing IP. Hillbilly, of course, being based on Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Trapper is actually based on Jason Voorhees, and you know, it's not a very direct reference, which is why it's weird. And then Wraith is the one that's the hardest to spot nowadays, but in their concept, Wraith was originally going to be a bootleg of Michael Myers. However, while they were developing Wraith and making their backstory, they got the Halloween rights. So, yeah, in very, very early concept, like, art of, that's not Jason Voorhees, that's Jackson Visser, yeah. Yeah, they, Wraith was originally going to be, a parody of, Michael Myers, which is probably where, like, the cloaking mechanic comes from, because of Michael Myers' uncanny, like, stalking ability. Original concept art shows a killer in a blue jumpsuit, very similar to the design of Michael Myers, which would have been the original Wraith design, which is why Wraith is a mechanic, was a mechanic. It's why Wraith is sort of, his lore is kind of disconnected from itself. It's because the two characters' lore are essentially fused into one. The mechanic and the actual mystical side of it. Yeah, so from the very beginning, they did plan to have, you know, these characters all be different. That's why I'm actually kind of cool with Skull Merchant existing, because she kind of encompasses that sort of era of the game where, it's, oh, shit. Got a vague idea that popped in my head, for this game as, like, a killer skin or something. What you thinking? Oh. I didn't even realize I'd been hooked that many times. Whoopsie. Alright. Alright, I'll just roll some more perks to use and continue on with that. I'd love to know your idea. I feel like musician Alice Cooper would fit in this game well. You know, yeah, actually. Yeah, I could see that. I feel like, oddly enough, I feel like they could very easily make, like, a skin of that for kind of like Jeff, probably. Just because, like, the build and stuff, and, you know, not a great representation. But Jeff is a former roadie and stuff. I feel like it would actually fit him quite well. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it. Alright. Let's see. What perks are we gonna run this time? Okay. Self-preservation. Ooh, do I have deja vu on this character? Yes, I do. That's good. Spine chill. I don't have spine chill. I'll re-roll that one, and... Unless, hold on, let me see if I can unlock, spine chill here. Alice Cooper literally made a song for the Friday the 13th movie? Huh. Cool. Oh, shoot. It was Rob Zombie who did the Friday the 13th reboot, right? I feel like Rob Zombie made a couple, like, classic horror movie, like, sort of remakes. That was Halloween? Oh, okay. The other one I got instead of Spine Chill is Reassurance. Okay. Interesting. I'm not gonna bring anything this time, I don't think. No, I can bring just like a basic brown, thing. To be fair, you have to remember, it's hard to remember all these things because all of these franchises have had so many reboots. Like, I think Halloween has had at least 4 different reboots. Like, yeah, that goes back to what I was saying with, like, working with movie studios is hell. That's why, Ghostface in this game is not Ghostface from Scream. The Ghostface in this game, Dead by Daylight licensed the right to the company that makes the mask that they use for Ghostface, and they made their own character out of Ghostface. Because getting the rights to Scream would literally be way too difficult. It's a power move, not gonna lie. Yeah, it actually is. And they still reference, Scream, like, a lot with it. It's like, Ghostface has an animation of cleaning his knife after a hit, which is the same way he cleans it with the glove in Scream, but yeah, they were like, we cannot get the rights to this, but we can definitely weasel our way into having Ghostface in the game. But they do actually have the parody movie, I think it's called Scary Movie. They have the Ghostface mask from that. They were able to get the rights from Scary Movie, but they couldn't get it from Scream. But apparently, the license holders for Scream are actually a lot cooler now, in general, and they've actually promoted their most recent Scream movie by having players of DBD play Ghostface and show the trailer and stuff, which is pretty cool. Legally Distinct, my favorite type of distinct. Oh yeah, hold on, I'll have to show it in a second, because no one gives a shit about Scary Movie, they were just happy they were remembered. Yeah, probably. There was a whole era of parody movies. And since this game is basically like, it's supposed to be a major homage to a whole bunch of different parts of horror, which is why they're doing sci-fi stuff, they thought, oh, let's put parody stuff in as well. But legally distinct speaking, over on my other layout, I have this what I describe as Cinemonster plush because it is a legally distinct, not Bulbasaur. Because I just don't want to have things that are directly directly copyright in that layout, especially with a brand as litigious as Pokemon. It's like, you know the game company, HAL Laboratories, who make Kirby? The reason they're named HAL is a reference to IBM. The idea that they're one step ahead of IBM because IBM HAL. Uh, genuine power move, yeah. Which is weird, because they were never really in the same market. Like, I don't think HAL ever directly made computers. And IBM was never super into video games. That's actually kind of why IBM compatibles ended up being more popular than just strictly IBM computers. It's because computers like the Tandy had better graphics and sound and marketed more towards games. So it was just more people bought, like more consumers ended up buying other things. IBM is basically just like professional and business applications and server stuff. Straight up throwing shade to throw shade. Yeah, literally no purpose. I'm like 90% sure that's also why the HAL 9000 is called that in the movie. I'm pretty sure for some reason two people both distinctly wanted to just they just wanted to own IBM. Well, I mean, Lenovo now owns IBM, or at least parts of it, so I guess that's 3 people who wanted to own it. This knight is very unhappy with my existence. Multiple people had a grudge against IBM for no reason and came up with the exact same idea. It might be because IBM held basically a very large monopoly in business markets and essentially being forced into buying certain hardware for the purpose of just, you know, you like, I'm forced to use this. It's like, well, it kind of sucks. Like, I mean, like, I hate the fact that I'm forced to use Windows. Windows sucks, but literally everything basically relies on it. Hating capitalism is based, for sure. Don't do it. I feel bad for this knight, but they did essentially just throw this entire game by constantly chasing me instead of patrolling gens or anything. It's like, I did one gen this entire time, and the rest I've just been chased. Alright, we actually won that one. That's cool. Come on. Well, I guess Meg is oh, wow. The knight left. Oof. If you're at the point where you're about to... If the game's about to end, you might as well get your blood points, man. A few days ago, I bought the original Half-Life since I hadn't played it before, and I've been really enjoying it so far. It holds up very well for a game that came out in 1998. Oh, for sure. I love the Half-Life series. And the original is phenomenal. I especially... the early game and the late game are my favorite parts of it. There's a weird, like, dip in the middle, but I think the ending and the opening definitely make up for any shortcomings. And, yeah, like, most, like, first-person games, like, they have, elements of Half-Life in them because Half-Life was just huge, and it's just, it's just really cool. The stuff that Valve was able to do with both Half-Life and Half-Life 2 is incredible. Like, there are games that come out nowadays that don't have the same facial animation quality as Half-Life 2 that came out in 2004. The voice acting also especially holds up. The best thing about the original Half-Life is how good the enemy AI in it is. Like, it's really, really well done. And it's part of the reason it holds up so well is because the AI is just genuinely so good in it that it feels like you're not facing up against, like, a buggy AI from the 90s. You're still playing, like, what feels like a modern game. So yeah, Half-Life is just really cool. And let's grab some new perks. Okay, Circle of Healing. Let's see, do we have Dark Sense? Sure do. Poised, alright. And Botany Knowledge, alright. So, we're going to need extra charges to be sure in that. Oh wait, why did that not swap to Botany? There we are. Surprised I'm enjoying it so much because I genuinely suck at FPS games. It's because there's so many different ways to approach it. Like, uh, because of how the combat is structured, you can approach it in so many different ways, and you don't have to just rely upon, like, twitch reflexes or anything. You can go about it as casual or as hardcore as you want, and it makes it a lot more accessible in that way. Yeah, I would also highly recommend trying out the expansions to the original Half-Life, Blue Shift and Opposing Force. I don't think they're as good as the original Half-Life, but they're definitely still very fun. Situations can often be solved with clever tricks as opposed to brute force. Yep, and sometimes when brute force is the only option, then it works. Yeah. Multiple situations are definitely designed in a ways where you can stealth through it in a way. That is my main complaint, is that I was hoping for a little bit more stealth aspects because of like the design of it, but I think it does it really well. How there. Definitely gonna buy all of them, especially for the price they are right now. Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I will say, as someone who is still currently planning on finishing Black Mesa Blue Shift, which is the mod for the fan-made remake of Half-Life 1, I recommend playing the originals more than I recommend Black Mesa, because the issue with Black Mesa is that it has a lot of bugs in its AI, which makes it so that enemies constantly know where you are no matter what, which makes stealth essentially an impossibility. So you essentially have to brute force it, which gets very irritating and frustrating. Whoops. The price alone was enough to get me to play the originals instead. Yeah, understandable. The originals are absolutely great, and they hold up wonderfully. Even graphically, they hold up really good. I know that, I think most now just, like, start you with the HD textures, pre-enabled because, you know, Gearbox did the ports of cheap fellow when it comes to sales and such. Yeah, me too. Seeing a low price for me is, like, it is just instantly, like, brain tells me to grab as fast as possible. And the original Half-Life games are incredibly cheap, even when they're not on sale. Oh no. Inner Mr. Krabs guides us all. Not wrong. We have to be a bit frugal nowadays with how dumb, with how dumb, the economy has gotten overall. Oh my gosh, is this spirit seriously frickin'... Spirit, please do not go after the frickin' girl. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Come after me. I just need the Meg to get out. I didn't want her to get tunneled. Don't know why you would ever buy a Valve game full price. That would become cheaper than a Big Mac literally every sale. Big Macs are expensive now. It sucks. Like, the only way to get cheap, like, fast food is genuinely to use their frickin' apps, I swear. You should never buy a Valve game full price. The way you should buy Valve games is, I believe on Steam it's called, like, the Valve Complete Pack or something, where it's just, like, you get all of the games Valve has ever made in, like, a bundle, and whenever there's a Steam sale, it goes on sale. It's like genuinely 20 games for like $10. Is one of the best purchases I have ever made. Be honest, I think even Valve wants you to buy them on sale. Yeah, I think Valve doesn't really care. The more time you spend on their platform, the better it is for them. Like, since they already earn money for everything, like, that you buy on Steam, it's like, buying their own games on Steam, they're already going to get 100% of that cut, excluding tax, of course, but they're going to make so much money, like, regardless, that I don't think that they really care about them not making the full price. I think the full price is for people who want to buy it then and now, and the sales price is just like, we're making money no matter what. We made our money back on these games back when they released. Valve Complete Pack is currently about $7. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. There is no like, that is the price, like, that is what you should pay for, like, Portal 2 alone. Oh, also, if you buy that, the Valve Complete Pack, you get Portal RTX for free, because that's just a free included thing with the original Portal. So even, like, the graphical update for Portal that was released last year, you can get for $7. Got 1 and 2 for, like, $3. Yeah, Portal 1 and 2 go on sale all the time because they're some of the highest selling games of all time. Like, those games were huge. In fact, if you bought the PS3 version of Portal 2, you got the Steam version for free. It came with a code. The Xbox 360 version, on the other hand, didn't. I'm surprised they didn't do that with, like, the Switch version. Poor laptop would explode with Portal RTX. Yeah, I understand that. Unfortunately, ray tracing in general is just still 100% not worth the resources that it takes. Like, when even the best cards at running ray tracing do it at 1/4 of the normal frame rate as playing it normally, yeah, that's bad. PC barely runs modern Minecraft. Yeah, I recommend the Bedrock version just because it's way better optimized. Bedrock version actually exists on code that makes sense. Or if you're running Java, of course, Optifine is always one of the best options for that because of all the different graphical things that you can do with that. But yeah. Unfortunately, when it comes to a game that was developed by one person who wasn't particularly good at coding and then has an entire other team come in afterwards to essentially continue working on it, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of technical issues. Damn it. So close to that pallet. Personally don't like Bedrock as a mod fan despite the protests on my PC. That's fair. Yeah, Bedrock does not have the same mod support or even, like, general support as Java. The one reason I really prefer Bedrock at the end of the day is because you can just play peer-to-peer co-op. Like, you don't have to set up a server or anything, which is really nice. That's the main reason I end up playing Bedrock nowadays. Don't play past 1.16 because I don't really like it. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, most of my time playing Minecraft has been on like 1.2.5 and 1.6.4 and 1.7.10, just because those are the best versions for mods. Like, I feel like I probably have spent actually now it's not fair to say that I've spent more time in Tekkit than I have in normal Minecraft. That's not true. But I've definitely put so many frickin' hours into Tekkit. I'm surprised no one has done, like, a direct, like, Tekkit mod nowadays to basically add all of the improvements from Tekkit to modern Minecraft. I mean, most of those mods aren't even being worked on anymore, so, like, it's not like anyone would really complain about you stealing their idea or whatever. It's hard to steal an idea when there are 50 different versions of Copper. Including in the main game now, holy shit, right. Love modding Minecraft to the point of stupidity known in adding a lot of dumb shit. Yeah, understandable. It's like Skyrim. Are you really playing Skyrim if you're not playing modded? Are you really playing Minecraft if it's not modded? Just one of those things. Ah, shoot. Darn. Oh well. Like, with modern versions of Minecraft, it feels like a lot of the things that they add just don't really end up having purpose. JoJo stands guns, waifus means more guns. Yeah, yeah. That's all valid. Minecraft is a sandbox. You should play it however you want. Fair. I don't know. I've never been super into, like, specifically, like, just the gun mods. Unless it's a mod that's incredibly technical with how you make stuff. Because if you make it like very technical and make the weapons like they feel like they're not too easy to create, then I end up like enjoying it a lot more. But for just simple stuff that's creative only, I think guns look silly in Minecraft. Yeah, they are. Honestly, I feel like the main reason that I end up not liking like guns and stuff in Minecraft is solely because they don't really fit within my idea of what Minecraft is, which is like at its core, it's you've basically wound up like stranded in this desert place after something, and you're trying to survive. And I think there's definitely value behind things breaking from that norm, but I do like more simplistic crafting, or as time goes on, it's like you have mods that get way more into technical stuff, and I think that's why I like those types of mods. So I get you. I think you just gotta have you gotta have fun with it, and it's a sandbox game that you can play however you want. My way of wanting to play is completely different than anyone else's, and that's completely cool. Everyone's allowed to have their own way of wanting to play it. Yeah. Let's go for that. I think mods that add other dimensions and stuff, like, Twilight Forest, the Aether and stuff, that all really fits super well into the general vibe. I feel like more stuff with like sorcery and stuff and magic 100% makes sense in Minecraft. Mod packs are in no way cohesive, pure chaos made for fun, and that's how I like it. Yeah, I get that. Twilight Forest was the GOAT. I'm not sure how much of it still, like, exists and if it's still being updated. I remember one of the later versions, there was, like, a weird mechanic where you essentially had to, like, reach certain milestones to extend it so that you wouldn't constantly take damage beyond a point. Up to modern versions. Oh, cool. I'm pretty sure the Aether still exists, but I'm surprised we haven't gotten the Aether as, like, a real thing yet. Like, don't think any new content has been added for a long time, though. Yeah, that makes sense. Minecraft is over a decade old, and I think that mod's been around probably since, like... Gosh, I think that's been around since one of the beta versions of Minecraft, now that I think about it. I mean, if you look at stuff in the Twilight Forest, you can very clearly tell when something was designed because of how blocky it is. Mod is a veteran and you respect it, of course, you gotta. Like, it's one of those things that was huge. Honestly, I remember... Here's the thing. Everyone remembers the Aether portal, but no one actually, like, remembers any content from the Aether, as far as I remember. Like, it's in the sky, and that's basically it. But when it comes to, like, Twilight Forest, you remember stuff. You remember, like, the foresty nature of it. You remember, like, the labyrinth and, like, the different bosses and stuff. I really like the way they actually design the portal in that as well, with it requiring, like, it feels mystical in a way on how you essentially have to surround it with flowers and then, like, yeah, it makes it so that you surround it with flowers and then have to give something in exchange to reach, to reach the actual dimension itself, like giving the diamond. It's pretty cool, and I think it's, like, a really fun way of going about it. It wasn't really too much content in the Aether. It's remembered as being the first of its kind in that respect. But yeah, that's fair as well. It definitely was, like... And I feel like it added a lot of stuff, and it definitely benefited in... when it was supplementary to other mods. Like, a lot of mods added, like, medieval weaponry and stuff that ended up really fitting alongside the aesthetic of the Aether. So I think people remember it more for the mod packs it was in than just its sole thing. But I feel like it's iconic regardless, and it deserves all of that respect. Dude. Blood favor. Gosh, I still remember the first versions of that one, oh, I forget what it's called, but, it gave you the option to have, of dual wielding, and it came out with, like, battle axes, and you could genuinely craft chainmail armor, and, like, make, like, White Knight and Dark Knight armors with wool and, chain and stuff, and Battle Gear, yeah. I'm so surprised they still have not made it a legitimate way to get chainmail armor. It's like so incredibly wild that they haven't added stuff like that. It's like, they made axes stronger than swords. Why not just add battle axes at that point? Yeah, gosh, that mod was epic. And at some point they made it so that you could have 3 different things in your dual wield slots. Like, gosh, that was really cool. To the point where they made the offhand an actual thing in Minecraft eventually. It's like, that's very clearly so many old Minecraft mods, many lost to time. Yeah, like Equivalent Exchange. That was one of my favorites that, vanished. Thaumcraft. That was a good one. And then, of course, you had, like, Galacticraft and then there was, like, Red Power and, Industrial Craft and Buildcraft. Weather mod. Oh, yeah, the ones that added, like, tornadoes and hurricanes and, like, the different waves and stuff. Oh, that was so cool. I think they should definitely add, like, severe weather to Minecraft. I feel like that would make it really cool. And make it feel like more of a real, like, survival thing. I find it funny that they added hang gliders to Minecraft, but in, like, the dumbest way possible. Where instead of having it as an item, you have to use, like, your chest plate slot, and you only get it after beating the game multiple times over, essentially. Oh. The Elytra is kind of dumb. I mean, I'm fine with it using, like, the chest plate slot, but, it's also kinda dumb. It's cool, but dumb, yeah. I remember there was one mod that was going to be added as, like... Oh, of course, then you have the mutant mobs pack as well, where you had, like, mutant skeletons and creepers and stuff that had, like, enhanced abilities, which was really cool. Damn it, it didn't work. Mutant Creatures was great, for sure, for sure. My favorite was probably the Mutant Snow Golem. I think that was fun. Especially since the Mutant Snow Golem, like, was a friendly one. I think that made it really cool. Oh, and you could make the armor out of the mutant skeleton, like bones and stuff. I remember that. That was cool. That's very like the forest in its design. I feel like making like bone armor and stuff should probably be in the game. I feel like that's kind of cool. There was a mod that was going to be added to, like, base game, which was, like, I forget what it's called. It was, like, the advanced movement mod. Someone made a revamp of Mutant Creatures. Oh, that's awesome. It's, like, the advanced movement mod or something, which made things, like, move in ways that looked far more natural. Which was definitely really cool. But that never came out, and I wonder why. Because that was in a snapshot, it just never saw full release. Yo. I got you. It's like, a lot of stuff from mods has eventually been added into the base game, like, I think it was called Mo Creatures or something, which was, you know, it had horses and turtles and stuff, which was really cool. And then, I'm gonna be honest, I think I prefer the Mo Creatures turtles to the horses that are in-game, because you used to just... Because there was a lot more, like, that could be done with the stuff in the mods. Like, the turtles were just, you know, they were small and stuff. And yeah, you can make armor and stuff out of the turtle shells when they, like, when they breed and stuff. But, you were able to just, like, pick up turtles and put them on your head, which was really neat and cute. I feel like it was a very fun, like, it was a very fun mod. It's not like they've done a lot with, like, horses or anything since they've been added. It's like, they added horse armor with no way to craft it, and you just have to find it. Problem with modern Minecraft, most things they add don't do anything. Yeah, or they never build upon what they already have. It's like, when are we ever going to see, like, craftable horse armor, or, like, you know, enchantments to it, or, like, I don't know, just, like, simple stuff like that, that you think would be in the game at this point. Just let us craft a saddle already. Why? Okay, now that, the game literally, like, requires leather to do enchantment, why can we not cook rotten flesh into leather? Like, even if it was, like, a less efficient thing, like, you had to, like, you got like leather patchwork or something, and then you had to use like 4 of it to craft like 2 leather. Like use 2 of it, craft 1 leather, like something like that. Like even that would be so much easier to get through. Otherwise, you just have to have a massive cow pen and just, you know, fill it and spend extra hours grinding through it. It's so dumb. I'm pretty sure you can craft a leather horse armor, but you can't craft a saddle. What? Why? Oh yeah, and they also it's probably some bullshit about being too grim or something. I mean, you still have rideable pigs and stuff. Like it's weird. There's just a lot weird with how the game is built and developed. It's like, if you don't want it to be grim, then why do you have, like, so just add furniture? Yeah. Like, it would not take much to just add, like, a couch to the game. Like, everyone already uses stairs for, like, you know, seats and stuff. Just add a chair. Like, so many times I will just, like, make a balcony and just put stairs on it. That way, it's just like, oh, it's just a place where you can sit down and look over, like, the sunset or whatever. Just because it's, like, you want those little things that really bring it all together. Makes no sense to me why they didn't add it. Don't think a dinky wooden chair is too high-tech. Yeah, for real. And, like, okay, now that you have, like, the allays and stuff, they should probably just, like, add in, like, a couple random, like, add in something like fairies that, like, spawn in forests and stuff that are just, like, little things, and, like, they'll drop items for you occasionally. I feel like that would be super nice and cool. But, no. It's like, they don't want to fully commit to having, like, fantasy elements for some reason, and they don't want to fully commit to having, like, medieval or futuristic or, like, technical stuff, but they never really, like, they don't have a set place that they want this game to exist in, and yet, like, they just try to subvert it with all of these different things. It's like, do we need copper blocks that oxidize? Is that a necessity for your game? Like, I think it's cool, but at the same time, like, can literally have dinosaurs and robots with no cherries. Yeah, we have dragons, and we have the golems. Okay, you know what? Here's the thing that pisses me off. If you program the fucking mobs, like, they programmed the copper golem, they programmed the moo bloom, why the hell do you not just add those into the game? Like, why vote to add very minimal content? It's like, it's not like the sniffer or the glow squids actually have any function other than sitting there. It would be really cool to have it so that, like, you have the moo blooms just exist in these flower forest biomes, and having copper golems to do cute little things around and exist in villages alongside iron golems. That would be great. I'd love that. And it would give more use to, like, copper existing. It's like, oh, your little, your copper golem has oxidized. You gotta have, more copper to, you know, repair it, or like a little tinkering hammer made out of copper that allows you to, you know, fix them up. That way they can continue working. Like, that would be really cool. God forbid we have more than 2 mobs for update. God forbid we have more than 2 things that exist per update. It's so dumb. I really wanted the moo bloom and the copper golem. It is very like, I don't know. It's so dumb. I wish they just added in these things. What did glow squids even do? Like, you know, they don't even have to do anything. They really don't. But, like, you could just have cool things that exist in the world. Less frequent updates than that jack shit per every update. Yeah. For a very long time, there was literally nothing, like, no updates happening to Minecraft. And then they came out, it's like, alright, full combat update, and we revamped the end. And this was, like, after, like, it felt like there were, like, 4 years that went without updates, and suddenly they updated the combat system and the end at the same time. Blame Microsoft? Yeah. Probably. I mean, on one hand, I'm cool with it because I'm hoping that they don't experience any crunch or whatever. But at the same time, I just really wish there were, like, you know... I wish copper golems were in the game. I wish they just let themselves have more fun. It's like... That's what I kind of do adore about both Dead by Daylight's developer Behavior and Mojang. Like, both of them, all Glows would do is be a nuisance. Yes, same with Traveling Villagers. Behavior was one of the first companies to completely abolish crunch in the workplace, which is why people complain about content releases in Dead by Daylight. Content releases take 2 years to get done, pretty much, because they refuse to let any of their employees ever do crunch. And I find that super duper freaking awesome. Like, their company culture is that you clock in at 9, you leave at 5, and you do nothing extra. Traveling villagers are at least a good way to get leads. That's true. But, like, man, they need to update the trades for that shit. Make it so that you can get, like, saplings or bamboo. Like, get items that you can't get in certain biomes. I think that would really, like, have a cool idea other than, do you want red sand? Do you want, like, this weird marble that's blue and yellow? Like, no, I actually don't want that. Don't think I've ever traded with a traveling villager. I was going to once, because one of the things was, like, one of the trades offers that I got was, like, oh, I could get dark oak saplings here, like, I could get 4 of them for fairly cheap. I actually kind of want that. Hopefully, I can actually get that, that way I can get a whole lot of wood in, like, very simple times, because, you know, dark oak is a very efficient way to get wood early on. And then, by the time I actually had the resources to trade with them, they were gone. And by the time they came back, it was completely worthless. I think the best thing that, like, getting extra crops that you don't have, getting, like, different saplings and stuff, that makes sense. That's something that 100% I would love to trade for, just to have more variety. It's like, in the Minecraft series I've been doing recently, it's like, I literally changed a whole forest to be cherry blossoms just because I thought it would look nice. Because I now had cherry blossoms, and I thought that was, like, a really cool thing to do. And it was really fun doing that, and it would have been awesome to just get, like, the cherry blossoms earlier on. That way I could have started that immediately. So yeah, I've never traded with a traveling villager. Honestly, like, there's very little reason to trade with villagers as is, other than just, like, some very specific niche trades. Like, the one villager that I used so much, I do like the look of Cherry Blossoms in the new update. I would never play it, probably. Yeah, there's not much reason to. What are you doing? Girl, we gotta... Okay. Oh well. Shit. Yeah, you came right back for me. Alright, cool. What do I do here? Please do not. Please do not. Please do not. Please do not. It's like, the one villager that I've ever traded ever is because, there was a villager I ran into once that was, like, literally, like, a 1-for-1. Like, you could get 1 leather for 1 rotten flesh. Like, and that was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Not much new content, and it caused the laptop to scream like it's in the pits of hell. Yep. Understandable. Okay, fine. Oh, right, I never finished this. Mojang has just been making questionable decisions lately. Yes. Very. My favorite thing that Mojang has done recently that for some people have bought for some reason is that, they added fireflies, quote-unquote, that were just 2-pixel sprites of black and, yellow. And, like, community backlash for that was immediate because they thought it was, like, everyone thought it was dumb. So they later just removed that as a feature, and they were like, oh, we actually removed it because, you know, frogs can't eat fireflies because they're toxic to it. And they used that solely as an excuse. Like, that's just, like, a thing that they said. That's not a real thing. Like, I'm pretty sure fireflies weren't actually even classified as an entity. I'm pretty sure they were classified as weather in the game. Like... So, yeah. Strange. And, yeah, you can still feel parrots' cookies, yeah. No, they only did it specifically so that they didn't have to add fireflies because people thought they were dumb. And then people were like, oh, but why didn't you add the fireflies? There's so many other things that you could have done. It's like, it's so frickin' dumb. That for some reason people are taking the bait that's like, they're blaming it on the frogs instead of the fact that no one liked it as a concept to begin with. What? Why? Need to pick a lane? Yeah. It's like, that's why they changed... I mean, to be fair, they made it so, like, you can't feed pigs wheat anymore, which, you know, that's smart. I'm glad that you did that, but, like... Ugh. And especially since it gives more use for potatoes and carrots, which, you know, having more use for more items is always a good thing. Which is weird, which is like, why is copper in the game? I could see multiple uses for copper if the copper golem was added, but you decided to not add that. There's still basically no use for emeralds other than trading, which also, like, please, at least let you make, like, armor trims and stuff out of emerald. Like, do anything with it. So dumb. So, yeah, I did not care that much about, they also banned guns from public servers because, even though it says online interactions are not rated by the ESRB. Yeah, fun fact, the ESRB can't even rate DLC. It's like, Nintendo could just straight up add just anything to their, like, they are adding armor trims, but they're not adding emerald ones, which is dumb. Like, Nintendo could add whatever bullshit they wanted to any DLC, and it would have no impact on the rating because they literally, like, the ESRB doesn't have, like, any, like, bearing on it. Like, Bayonetta did not change the rating of Smash games solely because she was DLC. Like, that's... It's so weird to me. It's so weird. Mario Sex DLC coming soon. Eventually. They'll add that to Mario Tennis Aces. What's funny about Mario, which is something that I saw earlier today, is that the main star of the DLC, possibly, Waluigi was not included in Mario Kart 7 because they thought he looked too creepy, because Mario Kart 7 was developed by Retro Studios and not main Nintendo. And they were like, this dude looks too creepy, we're not gonna add him to the game. Which is really funny to me. There was I should see if I can pull it up, but Wario is okay. I feel it's just the proportions of Waluigi that, people saw. Just weren't cool with. Hold on. I need to find the sheet, that people, like, posted today, which is, like, official, Mario, like, which characters in Mario like or dislike, each other the most, based off of, and it comes from, I forget it, I think it was, Super Sluggers, I think that it's from. Waluigi. But hold on. Yeah, here it is. And the funny thing about it is that people, noted immediately that Peach and Daisy have higher affinity for each other than they do for either of what are supposed to be their partners. And what I think is funny is that for some reason Bowser hates Toadette the most, and like, what? Why? Yeah, exactly. Yuri Cannon in Mario. And here's the thing, I thought about that immediately. It's just like the idea of, like, wait, could Peach and Daisy actually be a thing? Because if you think about it, in every single Mario game, like, especially with Odyssey, it's like, Peach doesn't particularly like Mario or, like, she doesn't like Mario or Bowser. She might just not like men. It's fully possible. I mean, after all, like, ever since Mario 2, there has been technically LGBT rep in Mario because Birdo exists. Still think that they should just rename her Birdetta, but Birdo is kind of an iconic name, so I understand why they use it. Still, Toadette gave Bowser pickles when he asked for none on his burger and holds a lifetime grudge. Fair, I guess so. I think it's funny that Peach and Daisy hate Petey Piranha more than they hate Bowser. Though I guess to be fair, Daisy has never actually interacted with Bowser. Oh, hi, I didn't even notice you were there. Sorry. I can't heal you. You're broken. Girl, you're literally... I cannot heal you. Do you not see your screen? Wait 10 seconds. I will try to heal you as soon as I can, but, like, I literally can't. Don't run. Make it so that, like, stay here. That way I can heal you when you need heals. Or are you gnome either? I literally can't tell. Please. Girl. What is you doing? Okay, now I can heal you. Holy shit. That took forever. Hold on, let me heal, let me heal. Girl, let me heal you now. Now that I can actually heal you. What if Mario and Bowser are just kind of in on it at this point? This is just them hanging out. I mean, that's fully possible, like... I mean, Mario 3, like, that is an entire stage play. With the existence of, like, Mario RPG alongside, like, Mario Kart and Mario Tennis and stuff, like, it's very clear that they could honestly just be one big friend group all putting on, like, a performance. Because that's what Mario 3 is, like, it's a stage play. Isn't 64 a movie, too? I've never seen that one specifically. But, yeah, it is being filmed now that I think about it, so I guess it could be. Yeah. Yeah. That tracks. Hold on, let me heal you out of mending, that way I can heal you immediately after. Or not, whatever. By a lackey too, no less than one of Mario's traditional foes. Yeah. Girl, you cannot get healed, you are broken. Literally, you cannot get healed. Do you not look at the frickin' screen? Girl, try healing right now. We can't. Yeah, also, recently, they added something to Mario that does not make sense based upon the lore of the series that had previously been established. So, they're on the record as saying toads don't have genders, Toadette just looks like that. But only Toadette can use the Super Crown. The other toads can't, which is weird. Like, everyone, like, all Toads should theoretically be able to become Peachette, but they don't. And it would make sense because, you know, in the original Mario game, like, Toad's always in the castle instead of Peach. It's like, oh, they accidentally kidnapped Peachette instead of, like, having the Toad act as, like, a bodyguard, essentially. They accidentally got a Toad instead of Peach. Toadette is just a slightly different species. I don't know. Are there any other, like, feminine-presenting Toads ever seen? Is this, like, a Zelda Gerudo thing, where, like, instead of there being, like, just specifically, like, non-gendered, it's just... there are literally only ever one living, male Gerudo, and the rest are all female. Is it the inverse for Toads? And like how the male Gerudo is basically destined to become Ganon, is it the case that all female Toads become, like, Princess Peach? Is that just how things work? I don't know. Maybe, like, Peachette only exists because they wanted an excuse to have Peach in the game, so they obviously didn't think of it, but, like, I don't know. I still think it's dumb. I still think it would have been much cooler to just, you know, have different, like, I don't know, maybe make it so that, like, maybe make it so that the yellow Toad becomes Daisy and the blue Toad becomes, like, Rosalina-esque. Have a feeling they heavily regret the Super Crown. No, they added the elephant. I don't think they regret anything. It's also clear, like, if Nintendo had any regret on shaky content, Birdo would not have existed since the second game. Like, the fact that she still exists in the Mario canon is kind of crazy, considering that her entire thing is supposed to be, like, a derogatory trans stereotype. And just a bad portrayal. But, like, I feel like too many people just genuinely like Birdo. Like, I love Birdo. Because, you know, they're cool and trans and have existed since the 80s, and I think that that's pretty cool. Nintendo out here just fueling DeviantArt? Yeah. Pretty much. I mean... have you ever seen what they did to, like, after Rare got acquired, also we're going to forget the fact that in her debut, she literally wasn't real? Yeah. Are we going to forget that in her debut, she was, like, a main boss? The fact that Birdo was literally on Bowser tier, because, you know, it's like, Wart was the main enemy of Mario 2, of course, but, like, she was the end boss for, like, everything else. Like, she was an enemy that was on par with, like, Bowser level. And that has never been brought up again. Well, also, Shy Guys weren't real. Because Shy Guys were also there. It's like, this also implies that Mario dreams about being Peach. Which is, you know, that's another thing that's never addressed. Because you gotta remember, like, it's all Mario's dream, but you can play as 4 different characters. Rock Vine Boom. No, I think the message that we never got out of Mario 2 is the fact, think about it, Mario dreams about being Peach, and Birdo is the enemy. Think about it. That's just, like, repression right there. Think about it. It makes sense. Hold on. Let me... Was there ever a time where there was a genuine, like, did any official artist for Mario ever make a female, like, Mario design? Like, even as, like, a quote-unquote joke in, like, Paper Mario and stuff. Oh yeah, there's a lot... You know, there's a lot of trans characters in Mario now that I think about it, because you have, No, they don't make trans allegories by accident. They made 2 intentional trans characters with Vivian and Birdo. And then you also have, like, what's her name? Is it literally just, like, Koopy-Koo, I believe? Which is, like, the one ever seen female, Koopa. I mean, there's a lot of instances where, Nintendo Power Mario comics, Luigi just wears Peach's dress and likes it. Oh yeah, and Mario can wear the wedding dress, and Luigi is supportive of it in Mario Odyssey. I forgot about that. That is a thing. Cool. A lot of companies have wound up accidentally making trans characters. It's like, Otis from Barnyard is very, like, commonly cited as that. Then you have, Naruto and I think it's Hinata. I don't know, who he wound up with. I never super watched Naruto, but, they established in Naruto canon that Naruto, like, gets his, like, facial, like, the lines, that's a trait passed down from his mom, so it comes from the maternal side, and then Boruto has them, which implies that Naruto is in a T-for-T relationship. Don't know how cows work, trans allegory. I mean, that's why, Charmy and Espio from Sonic both, fall into that category. Because, the number of Espio's horns, means that they, are not, like, they were not going to be, I forget what it is, I think they have to be, like, born female to have that amount of horns, they have, and Charmy, has a stinger, which is something that, male bees do not have. And then Sonic, they accidentally fucked up with Sonic specifically, because if you look at how they design hedgehogs, you have Sonic, Amy, Silver, and Shadow. Oh. Huh. You have, I didn't even realize that 2 of my teammates just died. Alright. Hi, Nancy. The thing is, like, Sonic and Amy share more traits physically than Sonic does with Shadow and Silver, because with Silver and Shadow, you see that male hedgehogs have their fur-colored arms instead of tan ones, and they also have chest fur. They don't have, like, the bare tan, like, spots. But you see with female hedgehogs like Amy that they have tan-colored arms that are not covered in fur, and you do not have fur on their stomach as well, which means that Sonic is literally in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, if we are to believe, like, character design things, Sonic is Transmask. Well, my entire team died. Fascinating. Does Shadow count? He's more of an artificial life form based on a hedgehog. Silver definitely counts. I'd say that Shadow is specifically a hedgehog. Even though he is, like, the ultimate life form, he is still a hedgehog. Like, damn. This Myers was just picking people off. Yeah. I've had that thought of, like, does Shadow count, but at the same time it's like, Shadow's entire lore does not make sense, and we aren't sure whether or not the Shadow that exists now is the same Shadow that existed in Sonic Adventure 2. We have no clue. I think it realistically is just, like, it's more likely just that it's similar to just, like, a genetically modified hedgehog. Because how does a ultimate life form go from the Bio Lizard to Shadow, like, logistically? And also because, you know, the ability for him to have a supersonic form 100%, like, you know what, I've used literally all of these perks before. I should just reroll. The implication that he can use, like, the supersonic ability because of, because he is a hedgehog, like, they just added Super Amy, which is nice, finally. Like, so all hedgehog characters can have a super form. No longer only male hedgehogs can go super. Yeah. That's another dumb thing that, Sonic copied from Dragon Ball for a while. Pretty much every male Saiyan got to be depicted as Super Saiyan in some form of media, but when it came to Pan, and Bulla, like, they were not able to go Super Saiyan because they couldn't figure out what to do with hair. Which is also why the only two female Super Saiyans you see, which are Caulifla and Kale, Caulifla, her hair just turns yellow, and Kale is just Broly. So they found a way around that still. Sonic lore is a disaster, but it's our disaster. Yeah, how is the moon, in existence still? After Sonic Adventure 2, how is Moon? It is our disaster. 100%. The implication in Generations that classic Sonic is just Sonic but younger is also weird. And then in Forces they made it so that classic Sonic is from another dimension, which does make more sense. But like, I don't know, it's all weird. Sonic does not have a direct storyline, it just exists. Yeah, they say it's only the non-broken side, but that's not how the moon works. The moon is rotation locked with the Earth. We'd only ever see the destroyed side. Like, if you ever look at the moon, you're only ever going to see one side of it. Like, the dark side of the moon, quote-unquote, we never see because it's rotation locked to the Earth. So the moon syncs up with our Earth's rotation. You know, oh yeah, and then you have the fact that Blaze is both simultaneously a princess in the present and also just a random survivor in the future. Isn't that weird? Didn't Eggman create cracks to the core of the Earth and Unleashed? Yes. Maybe Knuckles just uses the Master Emerald or some shit to fix it. Yeah. Oh, remember Ultrasonic and how that's a thing? Said fuck you to the Super Emeralds. They sure did. What I think is funny is that Sonic Mania is a prequel to Sonic Forces. Like, that's kind of wild to me still. Well, shit. This match did not exactly go ideal. The ones they use are fully drained of their power? Yeah. They never fully explain the Phantom Ruby, do they? Like, it's weird. Make Chaos a playable character since he's good now. Yeah. think they should make Styx a playable character in anything. Maybe have him play like the Werehog or something. Yeah, that could definitely work. I don't know. I feel like Sonic should do more unique things instead of just like... I don't know. Maybe don't do Frontiers. Like, on one hand, Frontiers is a good game. On the other hand, like... It definitely does just feel like you put Sonic assets into an Unreal Engine, like, world that you got. Oh no, it's so weird. Oh shit. Ran myself into a corner. Oh my gosh. Like, if they do an Adventure 3 type deal where the Master Emerald breaks while Knuckles is searching for the pieces, Chaos and Tikal could be released, and Tikal would follow Chaos around, and that will spark for him. Yeah! Yeah. They could also make Tikal playable, which would be cool. Yeah. I do wish for more playable characters in Sonic games again. That's the one thing I do like about Frontiers is supposed to get a content update where you're supposed to be able to play as different characters. Which is pretty cool. But, like, the fact that, like, we're getting playable Amy for the first time in 2D is kind of wild. I liked Frontiers enough, haven't finished it yet, though. Yeah, I have not finished it yet, either. I have not played much of it. I don't know. I wish, like, it would be cool to see... Oh, actually, no, there were the advanced games where you could play as Amy, now that I think about it. I do hope that eventually we can get more playable characters like Amy and Blaze and Cream again. Like, I just don't see, like, anything beyond the core Like, the only characters that are ever really playable are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Silver. And even then, getting Shadow and Silver playable can be just, like, hit and miss. Really think that Chaos could be used for very interesting and different gameplay. For sure, for sure. I do miss back when they had more playable characters, like an adventure, like being able to play as, like, Rouge and Gamma and Omega. That was really cool. Because they all play, like, the same. Sonic and Shadow, definitely. It's like, everyone in the Adventure series does have a counterpart. It's like Knuckles and Rouge are the same, and, Tails and Robotnik are the same, and, like, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sonic and Shadow are the same. I just wish they do more, you know? It's sad having characters with such cool designs that are just never used. Oh, I don't have enough. Darn. Oh well. Alright. I think I'm a bit done for today, so, yeah, thanks for tuning in and chatting with me. And I hope you have a nice rest of your day, man. Bye-bye.